Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to this first listening reaction to Doctor Who Redacted episodes 6 and 7, Recruits and Requiem. So it's all ours this fortnight. I say fortnight as I listened to these two episodes today. Just now, I finished just a few minutes ago. Finished listening to episode 7. So I'm recording this. I'm reacting to both episodes in this one video. So it's been 2 weeks since I did the last one for episode 5. A pretty intense episode as the main characters are interrogated by a pretty nasty unit soldier before sort of being saved by Kate Stewart and a even nastier unit soldier who threatens them, but they manage to get the upper hand by being more useful to them. Okay, so episode 6 picks up shortly afterwards. Recruits starts off kind of like a filler episode. Abby goes to talk off with Osgood, played by Ingrid Oliver, returning as being the fourth actor to reprise their role from the TV series following Jodie Whittaker, Angie Mahindra, and Gemma Redgrave as the Doctor, Rani Chandra, and Kate Stewart, respectively. So Abby goes off to talk to Osgood, and she kind of gets interested in being part of the unit, and they have a bit of a chat and so forth. This is nice and interesting, and it's where Abby's character is going to go. Well, in this episode, is going to take a different journey to Shauna and Cleo, who are going to go down a much less pleasant route. Things start off pleasant enough, though, when they are hanging out with this unit soldier guy in a warehouse, looking at all of alien equipment and stuff. And this is where most of the fillery stuff of the episode I mentioned comes in, as most of it is about them looking around the unit warehouse, playing with some of the stuff, having a bit of fun, so on and so forth. There's a reference to the Daleks, which was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing. But then they go to this warehouse about lost property after seeing the Dalek, and Shauna is sure she's seen it before, so they go to this warehouse that Joe the soldier, I think it was Joe, points them towards to go and have a look, and they find some lost property, and they find stuff belonging to Cleo's dad, and they believe that unit have killed him or covered up his death somehow, or disappearance somehow, and they've held on to his stuff, which leads to a break in the friendship between them and Abby, as Cleo and Shauna feel betrayed by Abby, siding with Unit, basically, more or less, and as they're very upset with Unit at this point, which, fair enough on them, but also, in all honesty, Unit are just holding on to the stuff. That doesn't mean they're responsible for what happened. Things haven't been revealed about what happened to Cleo's dad just yet, so we've got 3 more episodes to see if we can find out what happened. So Cleo and Shauna kind of part ways with Abby on bad terms at the end of this episode. It's a bit of a roller coaster of a ride in terms of emotions, as most of the first 2/3 are kind of coming off the back of the last episode. Everyone's a bit annoyed about how the unit treats them, but Abby starts getting, okay, actually this does sound pretty much up my street and what I'm interested in, while Shauna and Cleo are mostly having fun in the warehouse, so to speak. So the first 2/3, minus the stuff coming off the previous episode, it is mostly light-hearted fun sort of way. It's when we get to the warehouse with the lost property stuff that things start to take a turn for the dramatic and the emotional, as Cleo and Shauna are looking through the lost property stuff. And this is probably the best stuff of the episode, though, because as much as I really enjoyed the fun, entertaining, playing around stuff, the episode was kind of meandering from the main plot and then the emotional stuff with that stuff, but we get back onto track with this with the emotional stuff in the last third, and it's really starting to pick up the momentum of the story and the emotions. The plot kind of comes back a bit more in the next episode, more on that in a bit, but I think Recruits was a pretty fun, enjoyable mid-episode filler that both serves as a fun, enjoyable mid-episode story to begin with, but then later takes the more emotional and darker approach later on to raise the stakes a bit more and to start getting us ready for the final couple of episodes yet to come, raise the mystery a bit more, and get us ready and waiting for the revelations coming, plus also split the characters up and have them part ways on bad terms, so to speak. Episode 7 continues showing some of this as Abby does try to get in contact with the others, but they're not really that willing to listen because of her siding with Unit for a bit. Meanwhile, later on, Abby and Osgood play with equipment and see what these kind of things are. They discover that these creatures from a parallel universe may in fact be ghosts of some sort. Meanwhile, Shauna and Cleo join this group session, this online group session thing about people losing people, like lost loved ones or friends or something they've lost, and they this chat thing is hosted by a woman called going by the code name Requiem. So Shauna and Cleo join that. They listen to some people's stories, and then they talk about their own issues at the moment, including Cleo's dad going missing. Most of the second half of this episode focuses on this specifically, and it is the key focus of the story. And it's probably the strongest part of the 2 episodes, as Shauna and Cleo just talking to this mysterious woman who we don't know anything about. The actress hasn't played a character in the TV series, to my knowledge, or at least not a main supporting character. To my knowledge, we have not known about them before. This is their introduction, so something's afoot here. Especially when other members of the group, they start disappearing. Cleo writes down names, but that starts disappearing, and she starts to get really upset and angry that she's the only one who's noticing any of this. She's the only one who knows about the Doctor, besides Requiem in that promotional video, and then she's the only one who remembers this guy called Mohammed who's in the group, and then everybody else she's written down, and then suddenly her pages have been ripped and nobody else is there. It's just the 3 of them, Requiem, her, and Shauna, and she's getting pretty upset and pretty annoyed with Shauna, who is absolutely oblivious to what's going on. She has no idea what's happening. Just she and Abby have no idea about the Doctor, and they keep questioning who every time Cleo mentions them. You'd think by now they would say, "Oh, that mysterious Doctor person Cleo's keeps going on about. We don't actually know who they are." Although this could be something to do with the redacted thing going on, so they keep forgetting every single time they're mentioned, which pisses Cleo off. But you'd think by this point Cleo would have mentioned them enough for them to be like, "Oh, yeah, we still don't know what you're talking about," kind of a thing. And that's what exactly happens at the end with Shauna with the chat group. She keeps forgetting there's people there, really pissing Cleo off. I think Shauna and Cleo, if they don't get back with Abby in the next couple of episodes, they're gonna split. Cleo and Shauna, they're gonna go their separate ways, and all 3 characters will be on their own, because Cleo is absolutely getting to her limits about this. Though, to be fair, considering what happens at the end of this episode, maybe they'll realise unity is the strength, their biggest strength, and they will all get back together, or they will, at least these 2 will actually at least stick together. As Requiem sort of implies that she may not be a human being and may in fact be on her way to get Cleo and Shauna. She is indeed after them. And also, we have a few messages from the Doctor in this episode. She appears in episode 6, and then she appears in episode 7, trying to warn Cleo about something. She says something about somebody, don't call somebody about something in the 6th episode. We don't know exactly who. It's possible she meant Requiem and in the call, and Requiem is now after them. But the Doctor is able to get a message to them at the tail end of the episode 7 about don't touch ghosts. Don't touch the ghosts. And we saw Abby and Osgood playing with ghosts earlier on. Episode 8 could be called Ghosts, and it could be about ghosts or whatever's going on. We've got 3 more episodes. 3 more episodes. We've got to start wrapping some things up. We've got to start finding out what's going on. So hopefully Requiem, the character, might actually be able to start rolling the this plot to the finish line. As we've got 3 more episodes, we can't have any more setup. The only kind of setup left is probably maybe this ghost stuff and Requiem, more about them. Other than that, it's time to start wrapping stuff up. It's time to start finishing the series. Otherwise, we're going to end up with another series 13 where things don't really have a proper resolution towards the end. As things keep getting built and built and built upon, and then suddenly the finale is just kind of, okay, not quite satisfying on a finale basis. So, with 3 more episodes, Redacted needs to start wrapping things up, or at the very least start answering some questions. But yeah, in terms of the middle episode, Recruits is a fun, enjoyable story to begin with, and then a emotional, heart-wrenching story. And I think this one deserves to be 27 minutes, including the trailer at the end, which, apart from episodes 2 and also 0, obviously, every single episode's had a trailer for another BBC Sounds programme at the end, but apart from episode 2, which didn't, and also episode 0, obviously, because that was just like a minute and a half, kind of introducing the series with the Doctor's message. But yeah, I think that episode worked at 27-ish minutes, and it got to show off the different, the mood of the story, while 7 starts putting things back onto a more focus of what's going on with the main plot, and is introducing, hopefully, the last elements to be introduced in terms of what's going on, before starting to answer stuff, which I really hope episode 8 does. That is my biggest hope for episode 8. You don't have to call it Ghosts or be about the ghosts. Just start answering some stuff. You don't have to answer everything. That's what episodes 9 and 10 are for. But episode 8, it's time to start wrapping the story up. It's time to start giving us some answers. And it's time to start winding stuff down. Well, I suppose winding stuff up before you start winding stuff down. But yeah, 8 is the point where things have got to make a bit of a move. But episodes 6 and 7 are really great, and they serve as really good, moving the pieces forward from 4 and 5, and starting to move towards the finale, and things are going to get a bit more exciting and a bit more tense and emotional as the series goes, or comes to the finale over the next 3 weeks. So, that is my reaction to Doctor Who Redacted Episode 6, Recruits, and Episode 7, Requiem. I look forward to Episodes 8, 9, and 10 over the next 3 weeks as the series comes to a conclusion. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see, or rather hear, how it concludes. I really hope Episode 8 does start to answer a couple of things and start winding down, but also building up the excitement a little bit more for the finale, or at least the final 2. So that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching this reaction video. I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye.